that's the bellow of an abjured hill giant, and that could only mean it's time for another episode of Wicked Empire here on the Glass Cannon. This is the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. I'm your Dungeon Master, Jared Logan. We have 4 incredible players here to play the game for you. Let me just bring them all out at once. Ross, Bryant, Noura, Ibrahim, Sydney, Amanuel, and Clare, Grant. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Wicked Empire. It's called the Wicked Empire because you're trying to take down the drug lord, Mother Kana, who has a wicked criminal empire. But you're also
not because our DM is wicked and trying to kill us.
Well, no, that's the other meaning I was going to get to, which is that we were just talking before the game about how, Noura, you were like, we're level 3. Why are you throwing a hill giant at us? And
if it was alone, I'd be like, okay. Yeah. But
not just a hill giant.
Plus all those centaurs. Mm-hmm. Plus those goblins with poison darts. If they were just alone, I'd be like, okay, goblins, fine. Whatever.
We were so lucky too that we all rolled well on Constitution saves for those darts.
Yes,
because I don't think any of us got poisoned.
None of us got taken down by that poison.
Unconscious. Yeah.
No thanks to Jared trying to slaughter us all. Yes, truly a wicked empire. Does this mean that you are the mad emperor of this particular empire, Jared? Are you the ruthless Caligula?
I'm no Caligula. I'm no emperor. I prefer to think of myself as the god or deity of this world. But what I will say is, and I'll say maybe to the viewers, I don't really believe in challenge ratings. I think it's more interesting when you're like, oh shit, can we survive this? And also, I find that in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the player characters are really powerful. They're a little more powerful than you think, even at 3rd level. That said, we are going to level up at some point.
Like right now?
Well, let's find a time to take a long rest. Let's take a long rest, and then we can...
I think we should take a long rest immediately when we start the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. We are in a beautiful tropical island, and as we discussed last week, maybe we just take a day off and go to a nice tropical Airbnb and...
Yeah, we the drug thing. They can't
to be the one blood. To say no to all of this.
Yeah,
can we just go with the party?
Go split skis on a cute yurt or geodesic dome somewhere on the island.
Maybe you could maybe you could rent a cabana. Do you think there's a pool where they like have the bar in the middle of the pool? Have you ever done that setup?
Oh yeah. I hope Marco's tending bar. He always hooks me up.
Marco
when you said bar, I thought you meant like a ballet bar, and I was like, for aerobics? This is where my brain's at.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, you are in better shape than a lot of us, Sid. So you're thinking about exercising.
I just can't think about anything. It's funny you keep saying like tropical island. The only tropical aspect was we went to the jungle where we also almost died. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. This island.
As one does in any jungle situation, like IRL.
True.
Yeah. You're lucky that the jungle went that well.
Yeah.
There were all kinds of things out there that could have really fucked your shit up.
Yeah. This is an all-inclusive package tour of the damned.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing really well. I'm going to go into kind of a long-winded recap, but at any time, please interrupt to mock me. That's how I find these things go really well. I was giving out a point of inspiration if one of the players wants to recap our last episode. Would anybody like to do that?
I'm a little too traumatized, so not me.
Okay.
Give it a try. Fair. But I see... Looked like Sydney wanted to step up to the plate, but I'm happy to give it a shot.
I wanted to, but then I also realized I already have inspiration that I haven't used yet. So you know what? I'm giving back to the community.
Give it back to the community.
Le community, c'est moi. Okay. Okay. Go to the memory palace. Pull out last episode.
Yes, journey through your memory palace. Yes, Ross Bryant.
My ramshackle memory bachelor's apartment.
I'm giving Ross guidance on this.
Thank you. After. Wait, is this a recap from Jump?
You can do a little from Jump, but then really get into the last episode the most.
Great. Let's begin in media Jump. So the smash cut to the Empire of Mu, an immense but immensely corrupt empire. And what is corrupting it more than anything? The wicked empire, as it were, of Mahiri Kana, the drug lord operating out of the island of Temple Bay. Her minions have stolen the brass dragon Thanu and are desanguinating it of its psychedelic blood to mix up into the drug that's hitting the streets of Mu and causing havoc, Black Rainbow. Our player Bix, former partner, is here living it up in the Pleasure Dome, and Kina, the Katerin sister Paladin, which we have discovered is the correct way of pronouncing that. Mahiri Kana, the drug lord, is a former member of her organization, has brought disgrace upon them. All of these people have a personal stake in taking this down, and they were brought together by Grinson, an operative of the Looking Glass, the espionage agency of Mu. They all went to the island, wreaked all kinds of havoc, scoped out the Pleasure Dome and the market, and then went to the drug lab, where they saw that, yes, indeed, the blood was being drained from this dragon and turned into drugs in this fantastical methamphetamine lab. They blastified some sorcerers, but towards the end, aged Grinson, the agent who sort of brought the team together, was brought to a frosty death as a cone of cold turned him into a dang ice cube. The rest of the party, very diehard, were scooting through the pipes to make it to safety to see where the blood was coming from, assuming that it's coming from Thanu, the dragon, fish in the waters, former master and mentor. Our party went out of the pipes and saw the fields where the drug plants are being cultivated by mind-controlled servants. The party recognized from the description given to them by Grinson his contact on the island, who had been captured, a fellow who goes by the name of Skunt. Good old
He has kind of a Sid Vicious not Sid Vicious. Who am I thinking of? Sid and Nancy.
Yeah, so that's same Sid.
Sid Vicious, kind of a Sid Vicious vibe.
A sort of maybe a very Sid Vicious vibe. A very if Malcolm McLaren saw him, he'd be like that one.
For a second, I thought Sid Vicious was a WWE wrestler.
I mean,
and I was like, am I getting wrestling and punk rock confused? No, you're right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
In another life.
Yes.
Yes. So our party snuck in, thwacked Skunt out of his drugged stupor, but then were set upon by the employees of the drug farm, a bunch of bad centaurs, and a giant-ass hill giant, and a bunch of very annoying little goblins wielding poisoned arrows. They pounced upon us, and our party gave them what for, but were falling, reeling left and right. They made a good showing, blowed some stuff up, abjured the giant, thwacked the centaurs, but eventually beat a retreat into the pipes again, up a member of their party in the form of Skunt, who they have rescued from servitude, and they are now once again pulling their way through the ultra-heated pipes, full of pumping psychedelic brass dragon blood, which occasionally falls on them and sizzles on their jackets as they make their way towards the temple, where perhaps the benevolent Thanu is being held captive and drained of his life essence. What happens next? Find out.
Wow, that was incredible. That was so good that I'm going to say 2 points. I'm awarding 2 points of inspiration, so you can take one for yourself and give the other one to somebody else.
Wow.
Pinch.
Because that was thorough and complete. Nicely done, Ross Bryant. And so I am going to paint a picture for you, and then you guys can make some decisions. First, in order to paint this picture, how's everybody doing HP wise?
I mean, I'm knocked out.
Oh no, I did a medicine check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're like
Medicine check.
stabilized.
You're stabilized. No death saves for you, Fish. But we're all out of healing potions. We're all out of the healing potions that you stole from the drug lab. You're all you're in a pipe that's way before you were in a tunnel before you got to the fields. Now you're like in a pipe. Like you are literally inside of a pipe. You do see that you are now moving into kind of like an area where there is some like old masonry that makes up part of this this conduit, and there are places where you could kind of push out the stones and kind of get back outside. Would you like to do that?
And just so we know, I'm at 9 HP.
9. Okay, yeah. And how is Kina doing?
Kina's doing great on HP, but that's about it. All the spell slots are gone.
Yeah.
All the other extra cool stuff from being a paladin. Excuse me. Sorry for forgive me for mispronouncing. A paladin is also gone. So
we are going to drive viewers absolutely batty with paladin, and I love it.
You started it. I'm just yes-anding you, Jared.
No, I really appreciate it. It's my world, and here we say paladin.
Yes, we weave our mistakes into the fabric of the tapestry and make them art.
It is an in-world canon terminology. And Sid, how is our thief friend Bick doing?
I rolled my last hit die, so I am out of hit die, but I have almost full health. I'm actually doing okay because I'm not a spell user.
Oh, that's good.
Suckers.
So I'm gonna go ahead and rule. Probably you guys do want to kind of get out of this pipe at some point, so that you don't have to keep taking Constitution checks.
Well,
and
Jared, I have a question though.
Great, please.
Just so I know from the map again, there is the drug lab and there's the temple that the pipe is connected to. But what is the other temple-looking thing in the middle between those, surrounded by like green grass?
Skunt could tell you. Skunt's been on the island a while, and he's the one that sent this map back to Grinson.
That's right.
And told them.
Oh, right.
We also have that journal.
Why don't you ask Skunt? You ask our friend Skunt.
You have the journal of Dr. Milius.
Yes, I think wow, you remember the name. Fuck, I didn't. Okay, I take out the journal of Dr. Milius, and I'm trying to flip through it, and then I kind of look at Skunt, we're all next to each other in the tunnel, and I'm like, do you know what's across from the fields? The other building that's not the temple, and it's not the drug lab.
And of course, Skunt does know that, Jared?
He does. He absolutely does. It's the most highly guarded structure in the entire compound. It is the treasure vault of Mother Kana, where she has collected all of her great trophies of her of the other personages she has slain to build her empire. Great warriors, powerful mages. She's slain them. She's taken their cool shit, and she keeps a museum of her trophies in that structure. The only thing is, it is the most heavily guarded and is filled with traps and things to protect them.
So I think, you ask him that, and if you are finally taking in Skunt in a more relaxed way, or now in this pipe, Jared, is it like, are we still like being like pressurized by heat and
you're pressurized by heat. You guys have to get out. In fact, if you're having any more conversation, I'm going to make you roll Constitution rolls.
I'm gonna push open the thing. I think I'm asking this question because I have pushed open a part of it to see where we are. I'm trying to get my bearings. I'm like, what's that building?
Great. So you see the temple right ahead of you, and it's a grand old kind of monastery surrounded by tropical trees, palm trees, with a wide swath of land given over to it, and it's the oldest structure on the island. It was here before the rest of Mother Kana's city and pleasure dome and drug lab were all built. But then off in the distance, down the hill, because the temple is a little bit on elevated ground, you can see behind the great red pleasure dome this sort of small sort of ziggurat type structure, and that is what you have been asking about. And so in order to get you all out of danger, I'm going to say you can all kind of roll out of the pipe where you have all, like, even if you got your constitution rolls, you've all been kind of doused in dragon blood that kind of like has sizzled your clothes and kind of like given you like very minor burns. You all look like shit. Your characters look like shit. But of course, some of you were doing pretty good on HP, and so now you're in kind of a little grove, and behind you is the deep jungle again that you could kind of crawl back into, and ahead of you, beyond the little grove, is the pipe is right there, and then immediately after that, the pipe enters the side of the temple. The piping being like, a modern structure that they have kind of cut open at the side of the temple to kind of run the pipe into.
Okay. And I think if you ask, like, as he comes out, you're looking at a guy who looks like he hasn't slept in a week. It's very like sunken. I think of Scun almost as like, if you ever played like, what is it, Final Fight or whatever, like all the people that like Capcom game from the 90s, he looks like he would be in like the Mad Gear gang or whatever. It's like, like a red leather jacket and like hair falling into his face and like, so, and he's like, somehow he's like rolling a cigarette in one hand as like you're asking him this, is like, yeah, you'd not want to be going there. Hey, look, that's where Kana keeps everything that she ever took. So believe you me, if you want to get in there, then you better be real sly. It'll take more than a bonk in the face to get yourself in there.
I was thinking we could maybe lie down for a minute. You look like shit. We all do.
I want the same.
Smells not so great either.
Not in there, obviously. So if anybody has any ideas of where else we could possibly run off to this time.
Yeah, you all smell. I just want to yes and Noura. You all smell like gasoline farts.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Like someone ate gasoline and then digested it and then had gas.
Back, I've been picking lotuses for I don't even know how long.
Well, what can we do? Skunt, you've been on this island. You know some of the places. Where can we go? Where is it safest?
First, I'd like to know who fucking sent you. Because you don't know the call sign.
There was no time to learn the sign.
Grinson.
Well, where's Grinson now?
Dead.
Oh.
That's why we came to find you.
I'm sorry.
Grin, come here.
Yeah. We all came together. He didn't make it.
Game takes everybody after a time. But he's lived longer than most. Amazing he lived as long as he did, really. Grinson's only like, what, 120?
He looked a lot older. I mean, not to be offensive, he looked pretty old.
I don't know if he told you anything about what happened to him. But, I think he'd lived one leg in the land of the dead for most of his life. Well, plenty of time to pour one out for him when the time comes. I wouldn't mind getting some rest either.
If you would like to rest, then your options are heading back into the jungle as you did previously, or giving me some other kind of option. Right here, you're right on the edge of the temple complex, and you're right near a structure that they know you were traveling through.
Oh, we have our brooms.
Do you?
We do.
Brooms are quite large, and I don't remember you saying, did you all have them strapped to your back the whole time you were crawling through all of these tunnels?
I mean, we never talked about dropping them.
No, you didn't. And according to encumbrance rules, the brooms aren't that heavy.
Can I roll a straight luck check up and down to see if I have my broom?
I think that everybody who had one should do that, and Grinson's is definitely lost. So a straight luck check, I run that as like a death save. Just give yourself a roll, and if you get 11 or above, you have your broom.
Well, since we're short one,
Keena doesn't need one.
I don't need one. So if I have mine, I will give mine to somebody else.
Okay, very good.
I rolled a natural 20.
So did I.
Yes.
Just ooh.
Fortune smiles.
I'm glad you guys use those natural 20s now.
Is this a straight die roll, or are we adding anything?
It's just luck. It's like people, you've been battered and attacked and been crawling through not tunnels, pipes. So it just, did you lose this kind of item that kind of would hang off your person? How did you do, everybody?
17.
Oh.
Okay, so that means everybody has their broom. So I'll allow it. And so you can use your flying brooms to get anywhere you want in the complex now. You could go back to the jungle. Also, Grinson had the flare gun that summons Bember, the sea dwarf. And that's, I'm going to say, gone too. So in terms of like getting...
Didn't I have it? Or did Grinson have it?
I think Grinson had it. Actually, give me another. Yeah. So you guys are looking through what's left of your stuff, and go ahead and give me a chance roll for that too, if you don't mind, Sid, for Bick.
Okay. I thought it was a 1. Is this a 1 or a 7? It's a 7.
Either way, you do no longer have the flare gun that summons Bember Whetstone. So your ride off of the island is even kind of not a sure thing. You do, however, have all the potions that you stole from... Well, you've used up all the healing potions, and you said you have 4 of the purple compound and then 4 of the black, which you have identified as the full drug, Black Rainbow.
Skunt worked in the drug lab. Can he identify the purple potion?
Yes, it is an antidote to the mind control version of the drug. So Black Rainbow, they add the dragon blood, and that creates, the full drug that like makes you see other dimensions and stuff like that. But before that, the shadow orchids can just be ground down and turned into a drug that creates basically the effects of the suggestion spell.
And then the black vials that I have, that is that, correct?
That's the full drug. And then the purple is the antidote to the mind control compound. The thing that they were hitting you with when you were, the goblins were hitting you with their bows.
Oh.
So you guys had an antidote on you the whole time. But you found the other antidote, which is just hitting people in the face.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my thought. They know that we were crawling in the tunnel. They know the tunnel leads to the temple. I think we should get as far away from this place as we can. I would also love a change of clothing. Not to be prissy, but my armor is a little worse for wear. So perhaps we can go back to the marketplace. Thoughts?
Interesting. I like this plan. Are you going to go back to the marketplace, maybe get a place to stay for the night somewhere and heal up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it'd be easy to find a place in town, and then the market would be there.
I just think like opposite to us dressing up as the workers, like blend into everybody on the island again. Just go like complete opposite.
I hear you on that.
Marketplace, all right. You must have kept pretty low profiles since you came.
Yeah.
I nod kind of like, full chainmail.
Knock over the brooms all lined up. Yeah, low profile.
This is like shooting a little fire out of his finger and...
Okay, great. Marketplace it is. So you guys are going to fly back there and just kind of describe to me where you go.
Does that mean Skunt has to double up on someone's broom?
No, because our friend
I extend my broom out to Skunt, and I... Yes.
Because you got wings.
I can fly. These are just a little faster than I am. So just don't leave me behind.
Very good. You guys kind of fly over there and just describe to me like how you enter, what you're looking for first as a team before we all start to pan out and start buying things. Like, what's your plan here? What are you doing when you get back into the city?
Well, I think that we should look for an inn and try to get some sleep first.
Great. Great. So, you kind of
we were joking
flying
about the Airbnb thing, but can we get an Airbnb?
Yeah.
No, I hear you. Okay. Let's see here. So I think that in fact you can look around and you can find that there appears to be a very large, very beautiful place that was mentioned to you before, an inn on the east side of the island, the Blue Petal Inn. And that looks like to be very pricey and very kind of, it caters to clientele of the Pleasure Dome, right? They can't stay in the Pleasure Dome unless they keep paying money to stay in there. It's sort of like a casino. So the Blue Petal Inn is sort of like the luxury hotel on the island for these clients. And you can see it very clearly. It has a beautiful blue roof as you kind of fly over it. You can check out that location, or you could head back over into the market area and the slum area and see if there's a different kind of lower end place to kind of stay and hide out. And it's totally your call.
I feel like we might stick out like a sore thumb in that high end inn.
Yeah.
I'll remind we look and smell like shit right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe we should also avoid this place because last time we were in the marketplace, keeping a low profile, of course, we saw the Red Wave come from here. They own this entire inn. So maybe we just don't go in there.
Okay.
And in fact, looking down, you can see the normal inhabitants of the city, the merchants who sell their wares. You can see clients for the Pleasure Dome in like their brilliant silks kind of moving back and forth out of that inn. As you head back over into the marketplace, you do see that it looks like guard has been increased. There are a lot of Red Wave hobgoblins moving around here and there. And I will go ahead and tell you what common sense would tell you. You seem a little exposed flying about overhead like this. And I will make a roll right now to see if anybody notices you. Interesting. Okay, you don't see anybody, pointing and going, I see you, but you are aware that you are a bit exposed. So, would you like to quickly look in like the slums or in like the lower end section of town for a place to rest?
Yeah, can we ground ourselves?
Yeah, and maybe a ways out and we walk in.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. So you ground yourselves kind of over near like the jungle on the south side of the island, and you put your brooms on your backs, and you start to kind of walk in like weary travelers who may be kind of washed up on shore somehow. And now you're going through a part of the section of the city where you can see that people have no money. Maybe they spent it all at the Pleasure Dome and then they're now begging. Maybe they are some of the original inhabitants of this island. Many of them have a look that is unlike the visitors that you have seen. They have, a darker kind of a hair and larger kind of eyes. And as you move into this area, you do eventually come to a building that announces itself as the Edge of the Earth Hostel.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Let's go in.
Sound like it works for you guys?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, at least we'll be less conspicuous.
This is a chain, actually. I've been to a few Edge of the Earth hostels. Don't worry about it. They know
Do
me
they have
here.
a continental breakfast?
No.
Shit.
When you walk inside, this sort of young, skinny human is kind of tending, and she seems like she's maybe coming off of a little bit of a hit of Black Rainbow, and she sees you and she's like, yeah.
We'd like a room for the night. Probably more than one. I don't know. Depending on how much are your rooms?
The rooms are cheap. The rooms here are 1 silver per night.
Oh. How many beds in a room?
You get a cot. And a lot. It's just floors, and the floors are just it's almost like a shelter. There's just a bunch of cots covering like an entire sort of studio space. So no matter what you do, you guys will be sleeping with like other people around.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
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 Okay. She takes your silver. Everybody mark off, if they had however many gold they have, mark that 1 gold has now turned into 9 silver. Make sure you do that. And then you head up some creaky stairs to one of the floors where you see it's like there are flies buzzing around. There's trash on the floor. The facilities for washing are sort of like this sort of basin pump in the back of the room that kind of leads up from the courtyard, and it's pretty smelly. Like it's not good. But I will say that you are at least relatively alone. There's one dwarf snoring loudly on a cot, but it being like, well, it's not morning, it's like afternoon, but it's like, middle of the afternoon. People aren't really here sleeping right now.
I'll keep the first watch if you'd like.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Great. Everybody throws themselves into a cot. Bick starts the first watch. And as people start to take their long rest, Bick, what are you keeping an eye out for? Are you doing anything while you're up and awake and around?
Yeah, I think I'm sticking like close by the group, but I would. And you said if there's other people's things around, Bick would like to rummage through everyone's shit and steal from everybody.
Oh, really? Very cool. Bick. See, I was afraid this was going to happen to you guys, but in fact, Bick is the bad guy. So, Bick, why don't you give me an investigation roll? And people are a little bit careful here, so let's make it a DC 15.
All right. Wait. Plus investigation. 16.
A 16, that's a success. And so I'm going to tell you what you find by making a random roll. Let's see here.
I hope it's a bar of soap or something that I can use to wash myself.
I hope it is too. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, it's just exfoliating lotion.
I can't use this on my whole body. It's going to dry me out.
Come on.
I throw it away.
No, wait. Let me make the roll to see what you find. Well, you don't make. Well, you do find soap and you do throw it away. Yes, and that happens. But you also find the sleeping dwarf has his stuff still there, and you find on his person 11 electrum pieces.
What?
Thank you. Wait, what is electrum?
Electrum, it's a little bit better than silver, and it's a little bit worse than gold.
Interesting. All right, 11 electrum.
Yeah. And he also has something else. I mean, what the hell? Why would he not have other things? So let's see what else he has. Yeah, here we go. Let me just roll on the table and find out.
Oh, then. God.
This
is so random.
This is like so random.
Oh my god, this is epic.
Okay.
Amazeballs. This is actually awesome sauce.
Oh yeah, he had a potion of greater healing.
Oh, let's go.
Hey, nice.
Those have come in handy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be used up in about 5 seconds.
And now you need to roll your stealth to see if he wakes up while you're doing this.
Attacks you, yeah.
No! Okay, let me roll stealth.
Awkward. Okay, I'll stop.
Get out.
It's canon. It's canon that's how the dwarf talks, and I knew that, so I was stealing from him. All right, that's 17 for my stealth.
Okay, he rolled an 11, so he just keeps snoring away.
Amazing.
You realize, Bick, being a professional thief, that you should probably not be the most obvious culprit when he wakes up, but he seems pretty deeply asleep right now.
Yeah, I'm going to take his bag and throw it out the window so that none of us have any of his shit on us. It's just out in the courtyard or street, whatever.
Oh, interesting. Okay, great. So you've taken what you've stolen from him and hid it outside, or you've taken his entire bag and just thrown it out the window?
Yes, I have all the possessions on me, and I took the rest of the bag to make it seem like someone took it, ran, went through it, and then left it.
To be clear, he looks like a young dwarf. Maybe he's only like 100 years old, and so maybe he's on his gap year. You know what I mean? And he thought, oh, what a fun time it would be to come out here to Temple Bay and check out all the crazy exotic experiences. But yet, like many a young traveler, he has fallen prey to predators that exist out in the wild. In this case, Bick, the elven thief. And so, you've thrown his bag out the window, and he doesn't even wake up before it's time for you to switch watch with somebody else.
I don't tell anybody.
Great. Who's next going to keep watch, or is anybody else going to keep watch?
I could take watch.
Okay, great. Keena awakens. And Keena, tell me a little bit about what it's like when you keep watching a hostel over your friends. What do you do, and what are you thinking about?
Well, I definitely don't move because I never take off my chainmail. Like, I'll bathe and I'll take it off to bathe, but it's coming right back on. I've learned to sleep very uncomfortably in it. And so I don't move anywhere because I am not stealthy. So I am just watching over to make sure none of our shit gets stolen.
Okay, great. While you were in there, some more guests of the hostel come in. It's starting to get dark now, in fact, because the afternoon has waned and now it is getting into evening time. And some guests come in to kind of wash up at the gross sewage-smelling hole on one end of the room. And these guests, one is a furbulg, and the other is a human, and they are talking animatedly to each other. They seem excited about something. Would you like to try to listen to their conversation or interact with them in any way?
I would like to take a listen in first.
Give me a perception roll.
Okay, I'll give myself guidance for this. 18.
They say she's going to be there tonight at the Pleasure Dome. Mother Connor herself.
And the Furbulg is like,
this is the perfect opportunity. We could present ourselves as potential suppliers. We gotta get in tonight. I know a guy in the market who can sell us some jade circlets. Says he's got 3 of them.
and they hurriedly do their washing and grab whatever they wanted, and they're starting to head back out.
I really want to ask a question now because I'm curious.
Yeah, you can if you'd like.
Did you happen to say you know where I can obtain a circlet?
Yes, and this guy, well, yes, I mean, he responds to you, and when he sees you, he's kind of like, were you listening to me?
Didn't mean to. It was kind of obvious.
Yes, I have a source. Let's say 300 gold, and I can get you one.
300? It's a bit much. How much gold do we have on us? How much did we start with?
I think I gave it to you at the beginning. Do you remember what's left of your supply? If not, that's okay. Let's make a note of it this time. But I think that you had the beginning gold for a good old paladin, which I think was pretty significant. But because the player, who is a beautiful, wonderful, brilliant, and a very smart player, has forgotten, I am going to penalize you for that. So I'm going to say that you have this much gold left. You have 20 gold pieces left.
Okay, what if I find it in my notes later?
If you find it in your notes later, all is forgiven.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Unless it's less than 20.
So you don't have 300.
No, it was but I thought it was more than I thought it was like 100, but
I thought it was over 100. I think I was the only person who had under 100.
It's true, but now she's down to 20. I think in all the fighting and the bouncing around and flying, all the flying Kina does, her purse got dropped at some point. So yeah, it's all to the good. But right now you do not have 300 gold, and also this guy's definitely kind of jacking up the price to screw with you.
Also, he's not the one I have to haggle with. So where is this friend of yours?
That's for me to know, and you to pay up. You think I'm scared of a demon blood? My friend here is a Firbolg. You know what a Firbolg is? And the Firbolg guy is like, he's a spirit of the forest.
That's
this
nice.
guy, when he hits you, it's like a tree falling on you. And then the Firbolg's like,
You're pretty confident that your friend's going to fight your battles for you.
well, see, I'm the brains, and he's the brawn. And then the Firbolg is like, he's like, trust me, hey, I'm like the planner, and you're like more of like, you like hit, right? I mean, I plan some things. Listen, we don't have time for this right now. Do you want in or not? 300 gold.
Sure.
All right, pay up.
To you?
Well, I
You're
need
not the one
half
with
now.
the circlet.
Half now and half when I bring the circlet back.
I'm afraid I can't do that. Maybe we could come to some sort of agreement, though.
What's the agreement, Demon Blood? Huh? Are you trying some of your demon tricks on me?
You mentioned a supply. I happen to know where you can get a great supply.
I have a man in the marketplace who has a supply of the passes that get you into the Pleasure Dome. I don't need your help. Perhaps you're familiar with Bexin. Bexin, he kind of runs the black market around here. And you may, if you'd like, make an intelligence roll, Kina.
All right, I rolled an 18 on the die. I just add my... Oh, and I get 0 intelligence. Okay, just an 18.
18's
and I forgot
a really
to
good
say
roll.
Yeah.
And Bexin, you remember, was the sign over that shop where you guys stole 3 jade circlets.
Don't think he has them anymore. Interesting.
You know...
But the three of us have them, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you guys have them.
Right.
So I'm definitely getting the sense that he's not in supply right now.
Yeah, you're talking to the people that stay in the edge of the earth hostel. You're not talking to real movers and shakers. You're talking to criminals who want to come up in the world.
You know, I do know Bexon. So I don't think I need a middleman in this situation. Thank you, though.
He's like, all right, back to the pit with you then.
And he and the Firbolg walk out.
All right, and I just kind of like roll my eyes. Walk away.
And so these are the kind of customers, shady customers you meet in the edge of the earth hostel. Do you move back to your cot when it is time for your watch to be over?
Yeah.
Very good. And you curl up, wrapping your membranous demonic wings around you, and sleep the sleep of the damned. And then it is Fish in the Waters watch. Fish, what do you do when you're on watch?
I think Fish would like to look around people's stuff, but specifically looking for alcohol, more alcohol.
Specifically looking for alcohol. Oh, very interesting. Okay, there are a couple more people that come walking into the hostel when you awaken, like shortly after you awaken, and those people are kind of like getting ready to go out and party out in the streets, right? And they definitely look like people who have access to alcohol. And so they're not currently pouring out cups right now, but they look like people who, like, they're putting on like stupid hats and like party clothes, and it's like a let's see, there's like a yuan ti woman, like a snake woman, and she's like getting into like her like going out to the clubs clothes, and they're all kind of getting dressed and they're like talking animatedly about how excited they are to try a little bit of Black Rainbow tonight.
Fish would like to casually stroll over there, keeping a little bit of distance, and just be like, what's the party tonight, ladies?
Great. They're like, we know some guys who are going to get us into the Pleasure Dome.
Oh, yeah? What's going on in the Pleasure Dome?
What are you, anyway? Some sort of cat person from the Expanse.
Yeah.
Be careful, they bite.
I mean, if you want me to bite.
One of them likes that.
And then Fish's tail just starts like swooshing behind him, you know?
Can I pet you?
I mean, honey, I don't even know your name.
This is Jada, Clada,
Zeta.
No,
Chi, Omega.
No. It's Jada,
Omnicron.
Clada, Omnia. That's right.
We're never going to remember these names.
The Wanti woman is called Sarah.
Oh.
Sarah.
It's Sarah, but with a lot of S's. Yeah. Sarah.
Well, so you guys are just getting ready for a big party? Is there some event going on? What's going on?
Drake fights in the Pleasure Dome tonight.
Oh.
Everyone's going to be there.
Everyone, huh?
Yeah. The Red Molar is fighting.
Ooh, the Red Molar. Oh, I've heard about that guy. Yeah. Great. So, you ladies are getting into the Pleasure Dome? How are you getting in there?
We met some guys.
Oh,
Come on,
met some
girls.
guys.
And they all start exiting.
Okay. That's great.
Fish, as they are exiting, you see one of them is pulling out a flask and like taking a drink as they started heading down the rickety steps.
You just want to like toss one back for me?
Okay. They look back, and the one that kind of laughed at you, who's Clada. Clada is a let's see. I like to be a little bit creative with the races. Clada isn't a human. She is she's a gnome. Clada's like a hot, sexy gnome. She looks back and kind of laughs at you, and she does that. She knocks one back for you and says bye, and they all run down the stairs. anything else you want to do on your?
I guess. Is there anybody sleeping in the room?
There is nobody sleeping in the room currently, except for that dwarf who is actually starting to rouse.
Ooh. All right. Well, then I guess I'm just gonna go chill by our stuff and, maybe try to see what's left in my rice wine flask.
Okay, great. There's just the little bitty final droplets in your rice wine flask. Oh, fish, what are you going to do? You got to get your hands on some alcohol soon. But it is the end of your watch. And so the final person can go on watch, which I believe is Skunt. Is that right? Okay, Skunt. Fish passes it over to you. And where are you going to go?
I mean, this is Skunt's first night of freedom in a while. So, I think he is, as repulsive as it is, he will go over and kind of wash himself up a little bit. He's like peeling off this like red leather jacket and like a mesh tank top and like splashing water over himself and like maybe slightly shaving with some sort of like a knife. And
great.
I imagine this also is like in the dying light, like a lot of like staring through Venetian blinds, like, God, what have I done? And then like putting back
a real Apocalypse Now moment, just punching the mirror. Oh God, how did this happen? Yeah. Great. Well,
keeping an eye on the sleeping folks and really just taking them in, like, who the hell are these people? Grinson, who did you put together?
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what my next move is while you're talking, and sometimes I'm just saying okay to myself. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and I was here working undercover, right? Trying to be like ingratiating myself and like working deep cover, going up the chain until I got into the drug lab, and then I guess my cover got blown at some point somehow. You're asking about your backstory, and I think that what happened was exactly. I think you should tell me how your cover got blown, but it got blown. It got blown for real. Okay, great. And go ahead and tell me exactly how that happened. So, okay, that was not okay. So yeah, but we're back at the Venetian blinds. And you're like, what did you do? It's like those, like, as you kind of like push in on his face with like the 5 o'clock shadow already sprouting where he just shaved. It's like weeks ago, and you see him in one of those like robes, like moving boxes and like scooping up this corrosive blood and like helping these sorcerers with the mixture and like basically doing like drug cooking with them and like it's like, all right, so this shipment goes to the Pleasure Dome, but this one goes off island, yeah? I mean, I can make up the manifest if you want, invoicing and all that. I could take that off your hands and like just trying to like get more info.
The one sorcerer who is kind of a leader that you guys saw in episode 4 or whatever is kind of like, you ask a lot of questions, Skunt.
We know. Forget. Knowledge is power, and you need to be able to know things if you're going to do things, right? I'm just trying to be valuable to you, sir. And what's this guy's name?
This guy's name is Elcor.
Yeah. Yeah, look, Elcor. I want to be your right hand, right? You got a good thing going here.
That's
right.
If
you need something from me, you just ask, right?
But I don't have a good thing going here. Mother Kana. It is her that we serve. And if there's one thing you should remember about the right hand, and he puts his right hand on your shoulder, he goes, is that it's usually a distraction to keep you from seeing what the left hand is doing. And he puts his other hand on your shoulder, but that one has some sort of thing that jabs your shoulder
But you don't have to. And you see his eyes kind of swim, and as he goes dark, and then it's just like, must be about my business, as my selfhood is wiped.
Report to the fields.
Yeah, so I definitely want to get Elcor back.
Oh yeah, he escaped last time. He was the first one to use Dimension Door. I don't think he was the one that a cone of colded poor Grinson. But
No.
So now we return to the hostel where you're looking at like the shard of broken mirror that they have hanging there.
The mirror has two faces.
And this is the moment when I'm going to give another point of inspiration for that great flashback. You can give it to anybody who doesn't have one. I'm also going to say everybody is at full health and they have their powers all back at this point. And each of you earn 2,625 experience points. Please add those to your sheet. I've calculated all of your XP for all of the things you have defeated. Just to let our viewers know, as a 5e dungeon master, I sometimes give credit for evading enemies or outsmarting enemies. That is a defeat that gets the players closer to their goal. So I have given some XP for enemies that weren't necessarily murdered. In fact, maybe most of them weren't murdered or bested with hit point loss.
How much did you say that we were getting?
2,625.
All right.
And now that I have done that, I would like, please, a perception roll from my good pal, my good friend, Skunt.
Should I use one of those points of inspiration here?
Yeah, maybe you should. Sounds like a good idea.
Hey, that's better. Yeah, 19.
You hear marching outside.
All right. I snap out of my self-recriminating reverie, and flick my cigarette into the bucket and like kind of shake everybody awake, and I'm just like,
Great. You can all rouse yourselves. Hit points are back. Powers are back. And I think that you should tell them what you've heard.
right. I don't know if you can hear, but some kind of martial. Sounds like some sort of martial procession outside. I'm gonna take a look, see if the heat's coming, and yeah, I want to kind of like clandestinely like kind of look out the window to see if this looks like a phalanx of red wave coming to take us away.
How did you know? Looking out the window, you see. I think. Let's reveal this. I'm going to go ahead and put you on this new encounter, the Hostel.
Ooh.
And you look out the window, and you see a giant group of red wave approaching the Hostel. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hobgoblins marching in lockstep toward the Hostel right now.
Oh boy.
Let's run.
Yeah, maybe you run. Well, right now what you do is you roll initiative.
Hey.
Oh my.
I was like, we have brooms, and
indeed.
maybe there's an open window.
So, okay, my hobgoblins, the red wave, I know what they have rolled. And what was your initiative score, Skunt?
12.
Skunt is pulling a 12. And Fish.
Fish rolled a 11.
Fish is at 11. And Kina.
Kina's got a 15.
Kina at 15. And Bick.
22.
22 for Bick. Bick, very fast. And Bick, it is your turn. So I'm just going to show you guys some things on the map here. You can see these guys are all out on the street and you're all up here in your hostel. So these guys, they can kind of, let me show you. They can kind of walk over to here to where the entrance to the place is, and they can kind of come up the steps here. Right, like here, and then they will be on your level. There's a door here that they have to come through, but then they'll be into your room. So they're going to start taking their movement on their turn to get inside and start searching for you. And they know that the first floor doesn't have any rooms, so they know you're not there. So that's just to give you a little bit of an idea of, how the building works. They're gonna come up these stairs and then it's on like Kong. So Bick, what would you like to do?
Bick would like to look around the room, and I notice as a player, is this a chimney in the room?
That is like the water station I mentioned earlier, where you can see Skunt's right over there where he was washing his face.
All right, so not that. Can I do a perception or an insider investigation to try to see what is the best route out? There's no upstairs, so my thought is window.
There's no upstairs. There looks like there are places to hide, and you could also go out a window if you wished.
Okay, free action to just ask the group, what do we think is best? I thought also about making a scene and a commotion somewhere else in the building, but maybe that's too much. Maybe we should sneak. What does everybody think?
I feel like we should make a run for it.
I do too.
Okay. I am going to then hold my action until the guards move into the building, and then I'm going to smash out the window as soon as they're all in, and I'm going to fly out with my broom.
Okay, great. So here we go. Bick is holding her action. That brings us to Kina.
If they're not completely up the stairs yet, I will also hold. I think what I might do then is I'll hold an action to just hit somebody with a crossbow bolt on my way out if I see that they've come up the stairs. So I can just be like, pew, and then fly out the window.
Okay, cool. So you're just kind of holding an action, and that brings us to Skunt.
All right, if I'm wish I could engage them all, but if we're gonna go, then let's go. But I think I'll.
Oh,
if there's will you have something to say?
I'm sorry. If I could, I'll wait till you're done. And I wanted to see if I could retcon something.
Why don't we go ahead and retcon it now? What did you want to do?
Can I barricade the stairs in the meantime?
Ooh, you know what? That's a big retcon. I thought you were gonna say I moved over to the window or something like that. Nah, you can't do that, Kina. You said you wanted you got a reaction ready to go. If someone comes through that door, you're gonna hit it with your crossbow. All
right.
Thank you, but a great idea. Maybe next round, Skunt. What were you up to, my mischievous fellow?
A bit of mischief is what, and I think since these are cots and not really good barricading material, I think I might minor illusion the sound of a roaring fire on the inside of the door. So as they come up, it just sounds like a blazing.
Interesting. I love that.
Even if it stalls them out for a second, enough time for us to get everybody up and out.
Done. And now, let's see. Does Fish go before? Yeah, Fish, you go before these guys. What would you like to do, Fish?
Fish is going to follow Bick's lead and going to be by the window and ready with the broom to fly away.
Very smart. Okay, so Fish and Bick have their brooms out, and they're like, "Come on, come on, come on!" Kina's holding her crossbow toward the door. Skunt focuses, and his wild magic comes out of him. Is that Is that a level 1 spell, or is that a?
It's a cantrip, and it lasts for 1 minute from the time I cast it without concentration. So this is the kind of thing where, like, when I get the high sign that they've come in, that's when I'd cast and dash out the window with the broom.
Great. Okay, so am I to understand that everybody's going to keep holding their actions, or let's let the hobgoblins do their turn, and then we can start back at the beginning. But people can continue to like wait with their reaction for stuff as we go here. Yeah. So let's see here. Okay, so that's where they're all at. They're just kind of lining up. You can hear them marching up the stairs, everybody. Yeah. And I know that these guys look like they're on the... Actually, I'm not going to put them like on the balcony, but like you can see that they go through the main office and up the stairs here like this. And they are all coming. Unfortunately, the stairs are thin enough that they do have to kind of go in a line as they do that. But once they get upstairs, they can kind of spread out. So they've all marched up the stairs, but they haven't come to the door yet. You can hear them all marching up the stairs. And we'll start with Bick again. Bick, still same plan?
Oh, I can't. Well, now there's like more. There's still a lot outside. I thought that more people would enter the building, I think is my problem. We're reaching an impasse. There's going to be some who reach the door and get us, and there's going to be some outside who get us.
Well, guys, so these guys are all coming in. They just haven't made it in yet. They're all like in a line, like coming in.
But on the next move, if we wait, the guards who have made it up the stairs will now be able to enter the room. So
That's
I'm starting.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Okay. I have an idea, and I'm just going to do it. So Bick is going to change her mind, realizing that like we're going to get hurt either way if we leave now or if we wait. So she is going to spin around from the window, run back to the door, run through the door into the hallway. She can see the first person at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
She's gonna take a shot off at this person with her crossbow. So let me do that first.
I'm giving him half cover, and I want to explain why. That banister just seems a little bit in your way.
Dang it.
Enough to give him half, not 3/4, but half cover.
All right, well, let's see if I can make it work. 16, so that's a 21.
Hit.
All right, so that's gonna be, let's see. Would you say this man is surprised?
I would say that he's surprised.
That's amazing. I love when they're surprised. Okay, so that's...
He didn't expect you to come out guns blazing. That's suicide.
It's like I prefer to get him on equal footing, but and then I'm like, oh, but we'll play it cautious, and I'm like, fire sound, and that's when she just like rushes through it. I'm like, and then the shot goes off. It's like, all right, so it's like that then. And,
but you also hear, it's not like that. And then that's going to be 17 points of damage. And then as
really nicely done.
My bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step out of the building, past the window. I'm outside now, and pull my broom out with the Misty Step. So I'm floating once I reach the outside.
Well, let me tell you this. First of all, your 17 points of damage kills him.
Yes.
And then once you've killed the first guy through, you Misty Step out of the building, which is incredible.
Yeah. And probably that guy falls backwards and they just domino right down the stairs, right?
Right.
I don't know about that. I think that nobody else is going to be surprised as they come charging in. Interesting move, Bick. Okay, that was Bick. Now we're at Kina.
Well, Kina's thrilled.
Yeah, you're gonna move Kina out of the main floor of the beds, through the door into like little hallway where the stairwell is, where these hobgoblins are coming
that's
up.
50. Oh no, I'm not
that
there
wasn't
though.
You.
So that wasn't me. I'm here.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was at this third bed right here.
Yeah. Okay. I saw you.
Okay, I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with a crossbolt. I don't think I want to get in within melee yet.
Yeah, okay. Half cover, and I realize these guys have a higher AC than I thought, so that last guy probably shouldn't have died from Bick's bolt, but I'm gonna
now
keep it
you
canon.
tell me.
I know, I screwed up. I'm gonna keep it canon. Bick was actually one other under the first guy. He was surprised. That's why I take a little off of his AC, but this guy, he gets +2 AC, so go ahead and see what you can do.
All right. 19 to hit.
Not enough with his half cover.
Whoa.
Not enough.
Nope. These hobs, they're heavily armored.
Ooh,
What?
buddy.
Man. Okay.
Shite.
Okay. Let's see.
I think you're out of movement too, Keena. Do you have any other?
No, but I could do a bonus action possibly.
What's your bonus?
I think my bonus action, I am going to cast Thunderous Smite.
Ooh, is that a bonus action spell?
It is a bonus action spell, and it activates now for up to a minute, and it'll activate once I hit somebody with a melee weapon.
Right. Okay, I understand. Yeah, great. So this pisses you off, maybe, Keena, and you intone your prayer for Thunderous Smite, and suddenly your melee weapon lights with infernal glee. Very, very well done, and that brings us to Skunt.
All right. Are we saying that I already did that minor illusion thing?
You said that when they came up the stairs, you were going to activate it.
Okay,
But
that
I
seems
think
like that's
have,
not going to happen now.
Yeah, I think you have some leeway here. If you wanted it to go off, I can allow it. If you don't, it didn't.
Okay. Yeah. It didn't.
Okay.
I think instead I'd like to cream these ding dongs. So let's try that on for size. But I can only move 30 feet, which doesn't get me close enough to the door to even see them.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, if you want to ready a reaction when they come through the door, I'll let you take one.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. If any of these guys make it through the door,
Do you want to move behind the cover of one of these beds? That's useful.
I mean, they're like little... They're like little cots, yeah.
Yeah, they're little cots.
I'll duck behind. I'll duck behind this one closest to the window here, and get ready to blast the first one that pops through.
Okay, great. That is done, and then that brings us to Fish in the water. Everybody has abandoned the plan. Fish, what are you going to do?
It's so many guys.
Fish.
Vic is waving to Fish from outside the window right across from him. Hi!
Okay. Fish would like to. Are there 3 sleeping people on these beds right here?
Yes, I have ruled that the reality of the map is true. There are 3 sleeping people. They came in during Skunt's flashback.
Okay. Well, Fish would like to. Fish is gonna sort of stay on the plan, but Fish is gonna run in between all of these beds, in the direction of Skunt. And as he does, he's going to wake these people up and tell them to get the hell out of here.
Oh wow! See, Fish is our most altruistic member of the party. Unfortunately, these are the amateur hour people that kind of went out in New Orleans, aka Temple Bay, all day and got so drunk that they are now at 8 o'clock in the evening, not able to continue partying.
Okay.
And so they're quite plastered. But that's good. You tried to help them, so at least take an inspiration for that if you can, because that's so altruistic of you. Anything else?
Yeah, and then Fish is going to this last guy right here. Fish is going to sort of go through his window with or her window with my broom. And I am going to be chilling right out here on my broom. Maybe here on my broom.
Very good. I'm going to give these hobgoblins a chance to see you're out there. Let's see. What's their wisdom?
Oh, can I keep going? Can I keep flying?
I think you're out of movement, right? I mean, the brooms use movement, and you don't get that in addition. Oh, but you haven't done anything but move. Yeah, you can keep moving if you want.
Okay, well then maybe I'll just keep going. I'm going to come over here and chill so that I'm not in the direct line of sight for anyone.
Very, very smart. And in fact, they missed their roll to see you. So you have kind of escaped outright, Fish. But now it's the Hobgoblin's turn, everybody. And so let's see. 1 comes up to Kina. 2 comes around Kina this way.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good for Kina, you guys. 5, 2. Yeah, another one comes up to Kina. They know that Kina is a problem because Kina just messed up their leader.
Oh, they think that Kina did that.
Yep. Because Kina's the one that's left there.
Right.
And we're going to put some more in the stairwell here. And we're going to move these guys down to where they're going into the building. And so we have, let's see, 3 that are on Kina right now, and they are all going to attack her. And because of their martial advantage, once per turn, the Hobgoblin can deal an extra 7 damage to a creature it hits with a weapon attack if that creature is within 5 feet of an ally. So these Hobgoblins this is how Hobgoblins like to fight. 3-on-1. The red wave attacks. Intruder, you go against the will of Mother Kana. And the first one rolls well. He rolls with his longsword a 19 versus your AC.
Which is 19.
Then he hits, and he does. We're gonna call it. Let's see here. Where's my dang D8? Where'd my D8 go, y'all? Here it is. Oh, you lucky. This is why I like to roll damage. Sometimes it works in the player's favor. 2 slashing damage, but then he gets that extra 2d6 for martial advantage. So, he just rolled 11, so 13 damage altogether, and that's from the first guy. Here comes the next one. Kina, forgive me. Kina, don't hate me. Don't hate me because I'm a dungeon master. Kina, the next guy rolls a nasty 17 unmodified. With his modification, he's rolling a 20 versus your AC, so he hits as well.
I'm down. No, that wasn't damage.
That was just no, that wasn't damage. That was just his attack roll.
Where was
I at? Here comes the damage. The damage that's 8 damage. And then here comes the additional damage for martial advantage.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
7 more damage.
Oof.
Are you down now?
Reset because I thought that
That's okay. Let's go back on the tape. It was 11 and then 8.
And then 8. And then what was that last one?
The next guy, I think it was, I forget, but let's call it 14 altogether. That sounds right.
I'm down.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Kina. Kina is down, everybody. Kina is down. Kina,
we're supposed to stick to the plan.
Well, yeah, I think you were one of the people that didn't. But one thing that I love is that Kina is a paladin. Paladin. So she probably is like, I can take these assholes. And in fact, everybody else is escaping, and she's getting hit now.
Jared, my friend.
Yes, sir.
It's looking like, according to what I can suss out from D20 here, that I actually do have, for my position, line of sight on the hobgoblin to Kina's east through the door.
Wow, that's really cool. Let me double check that myself. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so 50 feet and through the door. But is the door open? Is the door open?
I mean, I just walked through it.
Can you just walk through it? Yeah.
Let me roll a die.
Let's see.
Chance die to see if the door's open.
Chance it up.
The door's open.
Then in that case, that hobgob's getting a little blast.
Go for it, because right now he's using his action, since the other two put Kina down, to like slap manacles on her.
Oh no.
Well. Unfortunately, 14 doesn't hit these guys, does it?
No, they're heavily armored.
Inspiration!
I used one, so now I've got 2.
Oh no.
Well, you can only have one inspiration at a time. So someone else that's holding one,
Right.
can they give him an inspiration?
I mean, I'll give it to you if you want to blast this dude. We got to get Keen out of there.
All right, I hope it works. Or well, how about this? Because I've never played a wild magic sorcerer before, can I, instead of using that, I realize it's maybe not used in
wild
this way.
magic surge.
Can I use a Tides of Chaos to roll this with
Tides
advantage?
of Chaos. Yes, you may. You can roll with advantage using Tides of Chaos.
Great,
So
I use it.
Roll your.
And then, so I'm shooting this guy with a firebolt. Ooh, I like it. And he takes 9 fire damage.
9 fire damage. Now, you guys didn't know what kind of sorcerer Skunt was. You just didn't know, did you?
And
But I can tell you that he's a wild magic sorcerer. So, he just did 9 damage to this man right here. And then he must roll on his wild magic table. I'm going to make you do it right now.
Not quite, because not to. But this happens after I do a spell of.
It's a cantrip.
First level spell, and that was a cantrip. But the next time any time that I do a first level spell or above, I got to roll on that table.
I can call for that now.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, understood. Thank you. So you see that the firebolt is kind of strange. It kind of changes colors and it kind of like weaves through the air, but eventually it goes through that doorway, slamming into this guy's back and letting him know that, yes, there are combatants in the other room he has to take care of. And perhaps he will shortly. But right now, we go back to the top of the round with Bick.
All right. So I don't know what happened to Kina, which sucks because I would have no way of knowing. I'm outside.
No, I understand. And in fact, it is. I know that as players, we never want to go, I'm leaving. Good luck, everybody. Because it's not like a solid thing to do as a player. So but I also think that players can play their character. So if their character wouldn't know something or was really intent on escaping, that's okay too. And none of us take it personally. We understand. Sometimes a player will go here's how I figured out that my friend was in trouble. And that's a fine strategy as well. Sorry, Sid, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I think Bick does notice that Skunt and Kina are both not outside yet. Fish came out, but they didn't come out. So I think what she's going to do is she's going to fly up a bit on the broom and take a shot off at one of the, what are they, sorcerers that are still outside? There's somebody out here.
They're actually carrying flails.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I would like to take a shot at one of the flail people.
Great. Could you put yourself in a position where you'd have line of sight? And you can do that.
Yes. I was also thinking, can I just fly upwards so I don't come out into the open?
You can, but eventually you're going to be over the roof. So you will eventually be kind of, visible, right?
Okay.
It's impossible for you to fire at them without revealing yourself in some way.
Okay, I come out a little bit, and I'm going to take a shot off at the one that's closest to me.
Okay, so our friend Bick, who's on her flying broom, kind of levitates it out into the front, into the street, where the unaware hobgoblins are just entering through the front door, and I will let you have a surprise here.
Yay! Okay. That's going to be a 15.
Great. A 15 means that you do not hit.
Cool. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use my cunning action to move far away towards where Fish went, and once I get there, I'm going to be like, where's everybody else?
Great. So they are aware of you now. They're like, wow. But you get all the way over here, by Fish, and you're like, where is everybody? So you're letting Fish know. You guys are like on your Harry Potter brooms, like going around the side of the building, and you're like, wait, Fish! And now that brings us to Keena's turn again. Oh, Keena, give me a death save, please.
Ooh.
An 11 is a success, so Keena gets 1 death save to stabilize herself, and then we come. Good work, Keena. And then we come to Skunt.
Okay, so that means if I had line of sight on this guy, then I would have line of sight on them surrounding her, and they're like kind of. You said that they're manacling Keena, or trying
this
to.
Guy, right? Yeah, the guy that's like the only one you have line of sight on. This guy is putting manacles. Yes, the one you just shot in the back. Yes.
Okay. All right, you jerk. Oh, what a certified jerk. This may be there's all kinds of crud around. Hey, Jared, we're in a hostel. Yeah. You described it as full of trash and various types of aforementioned crud.
Yes,
I would like to take a piece of that with my dang wild mind and fling it with incredible speed. What is there like a table of random hostile crud so I know what I'm gonna throw at these guys?
Of course, Ross. I did not prepare this adventure without coming up with a thorough table of random hostile floor crud. And so
when I picked the spell, I've never used
my totally real and totally prepared table of hostile floor crud. It's a D100 table, by the way. I tried to do it with 20 items and I had to go to 100. Oh, Let's see. I just rolled 100 on my table of hostile floor crud is a guy sleeping on the floor.
Oh, okay. I was hoping for something that
He's
was
a small
within the 1 to 5 pounds, or I guess 1 to 10 pound range.
Is he 10 pounds? Yes, he's 10 pounds. He's a small.
So he's like
a
a gnome?
little. You know what he is? He's someone's homunculus.
Great. Dope. Okay, so let me say that Skunt, as I said, is a wild sorcerer. Grinson was reserved, a shadow sorcerer. 10 weeks from retirement, like a icy. Skunt is a loose cannon. And what's more loose cannony than catapult, the spell that grabs random stuff and shoots it around. Skunt sees Keena being hauled away by these things, hauled away just like he was. And he's like, not today. And he reaches out with his mind and grabs this soulless little homunculus.
It looks like a house elf from Harry Potter to keep the Harry Potter theme going.
It was made in a bottle by an alchemist who combined like strange things. He's like, sorry, friend. Today you gotta serve a purpose. And I cast catapult on the homunculus and shoot it at the hobgoblin.
Do you make an attack roll?
Yeah, and this is a level 2 spell, so that wild
don't
stuff
worry.
can come.
I'm on top of the next part. Yeah.
And no, I do not make an attack roll. Your hobgoblin makes a dexterity save.
Oh, let's see if he can make it. I bet he doesn't have a great dexterity save. Oh, it's okay.
He's got to beat a 14.
Well, he rolled a 3, so he gets hit.
Let me roll that hot homunculus damage.
Do it.
15 homunculus damage.
He's down, and in fact, when the homunculus hits him, it loses its life force and it reverts back into stone. And so this creature that looks like a house elf is like, ah! But when it hits him, it's like, whoa! He was hit with a brick, and it takes him down. Now, I think that because you have now used a level 2 spell, you must now give me a wild magic table roll to see. I'm going to require it now to get your...
Just roll on the table.
Yeah, roll on the table and see what happens.
All right, baby. Here we go. First time. All right. 46. I cast levitate on myself.
Oh, okay. So for
here's
whatever
what
reason, the force magics that you use to catapult the homunculus, your wild magic, some of it you didn't use all of the kinetic force, Skunt, and so you still have a lot of reserve kinetic force in you, and it's lifting you up off of the ground.
Great. Yeah, this thing like, gotta serve a greater purpose today, friend. Whoa. And like suddenly I'm like, what? Like standing on the ceiling.
Yes, you're dancing on the ceiling, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
What a feeling. And now it is Fish's turn.
Okay, what can I see? Is there anything like on top of this little foyer building or something or other that like I could maybe push, in front of the on top,
Interesting. I think I know what you're saying. Are you trying to block entrance into the hostel or hit the hobgoblins? Okay.
Well, I was hoping both at the same time because it looks like one is right there in front of the door.
I think that's a really cool idea. Let me make a roll to see.
This whole encounter is like, what's around us? Tell us.
Yeah. So let's see. If you've got the distance, Fish, and can get over here to this balcony.
I can't.
Let's
see. If I dash, maybe,
you have 40. Yeah. I'll tell you what you can do.
I can also use my cat skill if I need to.
Yeah. Clearly, this was intended by the creator of this beautiful map to be the bathroom, but not in my hostel. This isn't the bathroom. Okay. This in my hostel. This is kind of like a little balcony that they are going under to get in. And this balcony has these kind of like weird like climate control devices up here. You see those? Mm-hmm. Those, I know people think those are toilets. They're not. They're like things that like kind of keep it cool in here in the tropical heat. So here's my challenge to you. If you zip over to this balcony with a dash and you charge one of those things on your broom, and then you make a pretty difficult athletics or acrobatics roll, I'll let you push one off and we'll see if it hits them.
Okay. All right. I will do that.
Okay.
And can I also ask a question real quick about something?
Of course.
So, you gave us a bunch of experience, right? And was that the grand total of all the experience we should have now? Or
that's correct. That was the grand total.
But do we add it on top of what we already had? I guess I'm just confused about. I added it because I already had 900, but I don't know if I did that right.
I've changed my mind. You can't ask this question now. We will do bookkeeping later. But what I will say is that is the grand total. It should be everything that you fought in the campaign so far. So you shouldn't already have experience that goes on top of that. And while you do, because you started at 3rd level. So whatever it says it took to get you to 3rd level, please add the total I gave you to that. Okay? So I've answered the question. Does it make sense now?
It does, but I think that puts me at level 4. But
cool, you can change to level 4 between episodes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So then I'm going to go over.
Now let's charge and push.
I'm charging.
Push an air conditioning off of a balcony. That's what we're doing right now.
All right. I rolled a. You said 8.
I want it to be an 18 or above to push this thing off. How'd you do?
18.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow, good job. Okay, so Fish, I'm moving you over here. You hit this thing full speed, and suddenly an enormous air conditioner falls, and I'm going to let these guys, and you're just like, air conditioner in D&D? Climate controlling magic cone of cold crystal in a huge crate. Okay, and they're going to make dexterity saves. Success.
Fuck.
Success.
No.
Does it make a really good distraction though? Because they're like
success. Here's what I'll allow it to do. It blocks these guys out.
Okay.
These guys all had to leap out of the way. This big thing falls and smashes down. They did all succeed at not getting hit by it. but the doorway is now blocked by this huge thing you've pushed off. Okay, really good job, Fish. And you are kind of floating over this balcony over here. Okay, now we come to, it's the Hobgoblin's turn. And let's see. This guy, they want Skunt's blood, buddy. Mm-hmm. They want his blood.
Bring it on, you pricks.
Yeah, okay, no problem. They'll bring it on, all right. This guy sits here. This guy is gonna come. He can't go there. There's a doorway. There's like a wall here. Okay, he's gonna come here. This guy, how much? So, I'm sorry, these hobgoblins are all coming up the stairs and they're trying to get through into the room. And being hobgoblins, they know that their best martial technique is sticking together. So they do kind of tend to clump a little bit. That's like their deal. But I'm trying to make it so that they're not total idiots. So they're coming up the steps. They're bashing their way in through the door. And let's see, there are now 5 in the room altogether. Well, wait, let's see if this guy can make it. The final guy that didn't get blocked by the air conditioner, yeah, he can make it in. Okay. So they're all up here. They've left Kina to do her thing. They don't really care anymore. They're like, we'll manacle her later. So there are now 5 hobgoblins in here with Skunt. And let's see, of these hobgoblins, I'm gonna go in really close because I want to see which ones that Roll20 has told me have bows in their hands. And I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. My man with the big sword and the shield, I'm not gonna make him pull his bow. I'm gonna this time let the visuals kind of guide me. So I'm only gonna make 4 hobgoblins roll longbow attacks against Skunt. That's the kind of really easygoing dungeon master I am. Here we go, Skunt. First attack. That's gonna be a 22.
A hit.
I knew it would be, and the damage you take is 7 piercing damage. Then the next one fires. That is a pathetic 6. That's not going to do it.
No, sir.
Jared, I have a question. I'm gonna be.
Really? Right now, in the middle of my hobgoblin arrow barrage?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be that player. But what's the movement? What is the movement on these hobgoblins? Because one was at the very bottom of the stairs. And for them to run all the way up the stairs and then all the way into the room and all the way over there, can they even take actions after that type of movement?
Okay, so you make a very good point, Sydney, because they had to go up these stairs, and I was just kind of going from they were climbing over it,
If
but they can't do that.
If you make coverage from a banister, bitch, I'm using that banister against you. Sorry.
Yeah, well, as well you should. So you are correct, and thank you for interrupting me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So they would have to go
That's like
20 feet just to get up, 15 feet just to get up. Let me redo my hobgoblin movement. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Sorry.
Let's see.
I also just don't want Skunt to die. We just met Skunt.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
15. 15, and then let's see.
Skunt's the name. Don't.
They can just get to here and to here. These guys can't get into the room, but these 2 guys, they had it. They had the movement. They were already up there. Okay. Right. So
I interrupted. Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
So one hit, one missed, and is there another bowman there?
There is another bowman, but he missed. So that's it. That's everybody.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sydney.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Bick.
Okay, great. And that's the end of the hobgoblin's turn because they can't get in yet.
I want Skunt is. You know that pose that that Black Widow always lands in, that kind of tripod pose. Skunt is in that pose, but on the ceiling as he's with this arrow kind of in his shoulder, God.
Holy shit, these hobgoblins are freaking out as they fire up at a guy hanging onto the ceiling. And now it's Bick's turn.
Okay, I would like to surprise these hobgoblins that have made it into the room by crashing back in through the window near Skunt on my broom, flying over him, and just taking a little pop shot off on my way in.
That's definitely a surprise, right? So go for it. I'm going to give them half cover for this this bed and this guy laying on the bed.
I don't think I'm going to hit then. That's a 17.
It's not a hit. It wouldn't even have been a hit without the half cover. But they are shocked that you've come back.
But now I'm going to hide. I'm going to take my cunning action and hide behind the wall.
I think that's a smart idea, and you are now hidden. And then we go to Kina. Kina, second death save, please.
All right.
Come on, Kina.
17.
That is another success. Kina, you're well on your way to stabilizing. And now, good work, Kina. And now, Skunt, you're up again, buddy.
Great. I from the ceiling, I kind of turn and I'm like, face to face with Bick across the room. Or I guess no, because you hit.
Yeah.
But I might just shout, "Get to Kina! You'll just have to get through this!" And then I cast Shatter right in the middle of that trio.
Oh, man. Ouchie, ouchie. How much, what do they make a save, right?
That do. And it is a dexterity save, I believe. Let me make sure. No, it's a constitution save.
Okay, and what's the DC?
14.
Okay, just describe Shatter one more time for us.
Once again, when Skunt casts Shatter, like suddenly these hobgoblins hear in their ear the sound of like a Fender Stratocaster being leaned against an amplifier, is like a wall of Velvet Underground or Sham 69-esque feedback like assaults their ears, and then a down-tuned electric guitar note blows them to smithereens.
And if you'll just watch your roll 20, you'll see that you have killed all three of them. Oh! I mean, I don't know what the damage is, but they don't have very much HP. Please roll the damage to make sure.
Great. Let's just see.
This rocks.
That rules. Okay. Let's see what it is.
We just meet Scud and he's just like killing everyone. I'm like, this guy's so cool.
It
What's
was
the damage,
17.
Scud?
It was 17 thunder
17.
damage.
Okay. Yeah, they don't have that many hit points, and so you have just murdered all three of these guys. So while on the ceiling, you just lay down this reverb, and suddenly, boom! Like you explode them into chunks. And that's making these guys on the other side of the wall like go, what? That's real scary, Skunt. Anywhere you'd like to move?
I will try to. I'm levitating, so that means I can kind of only scramble and scrabble along the ceiling, like I'm crawling. Yeah. So I will do that in the direction of the door.
Skunt is so train spotting. He's having like a heroin withdrawal right now, where he thinks of himself as like being like crawling on the ceiling.
Yeah, choose life. Choose shatter. Choose wild magic. Choose looking glass. Choose black rainbow. Yeah, it's just like don't along the ceiling.
Oh, really well done, Skunt. Excellent turn. And now we come to Fish in the water. Fish, you've successfully blocked these guys off. What would you like to do now?
I guess. I will fly back and
Fish, let me give you just some options. There's a window right, or there's like a door off of the balcony right here.
Okay.
If you want to fly back inside,
I do.
Okay, great. And are you going to confront the hobgoblins that are inside, or are you going to help Kina?
I mean, could I? How could I help Kina?
Well, you could make a medicine roll, or you could give her a healing potion. Who's carrying that healing potion? Beck?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You could make a medicine roll to stabilize her.
I would love to do that.
Okay, great. So go ahead and move yourself up to Kina. You are exposing yourself to these hobgoblins, but that's okay. You're that kind of a brave hero. Fish being our only altruistic member of our force, it seems like sometimes. I'll move you. You move down here and you make your medicine roll. Go ahead and give me a medicine roll. I believe that's based on intelligence.
19.
Ooh, okay. You're able to help her. You at least know enough about medicine to kind of like bind the wounds that these hobgoblins have put in her, and no more of those death saves for you, Kina. It is, but you still are incapacitated until you get some healing.
I am going to spend a key point so that I can dodge on my next turn, or whenever I get. I'm going to use my.
You dodge on your turn, but it means every time they attack you, you get pluses. They attack you with disadvantage.
Okay.
And so, yes, you do that. And so, as a monk, you are so good at this that you smash in through the window. You start binding Kina's wounds. These hobgoblins turn around like, "Are you kidding me?" And then, you're back in your cat's dance and ready to dodge them and dance around them. Having already bound Kina's wounds. Nice turn, Fish. And now it's their turn to be bad boys. To be the bad boys that they are, and they have disadvantage, but they surround Fish. Actually, they want to be adjacent. They drop their bows, they pull their swords. They want to be adjacent when they do this because that'll give them their martial advantage. And here they come with their long swords at disadvantage. First attack is going to be 12, and that means that guy missed because even if I roll better on the second one, he has disadvantage. Second attack is going to be pathetic 6, and so your dodge move was a smart one, and so you're doing well. Nice. And now that's the end of these guys are going to start trying to move whatever's down here out of the way, and I'm going to give them a strength roll to do that, and I'm going to give them advantage because they're all working together. And Natch 20, they've moved it out of the way. Next turn they can come up the stairs. Now it's Bick's turn. Bick, you're on.
What is the fly speed on our broom? Just
40 feet.
Amazing. Okay, so Bick is going to use her broom again and very quietly fly up to the doorway. Mm-hmm. And once she is there, she is going to... Is it still open? Is the door open from when they came in, or does it close again?
It's open. I said it was open. It is open.
All right, and then she's going to raise her crossbow up, leveling it at the hobgoblin facing
this
Fish.
Guy.
Yes. And she is going to take a surprise attack on that one.
Go for it.
That is a natural 1.
Okay. With your natural 1, I'm going to say your crossbow has popped its string and is not usable as a weapon for a little bit.
And as a cunning action, I'm going to go over here and hide.
They didn't even notice you.
Literally like a comedic background, like walking through the doorway, like, what? I trip in silence. I'm like,
flew
whoa!
Up, clang, your crossbow broke, and you're like, forget it. And you flew off again.
They're like swinging swords as like Fish is just like, crew. Meanwhile, in the background, Vic is just doing this Jacques Tati,
I'm
silent
slipping
comedy routine.
I'm slipping on a banana peel in silence.
This guy who's like been like washing himself is like yelling at you, Bick, but I don't think these hobgoblins are paying attention. He's like, it looks like he's wearing a towel, this guy, and has a shower cap on. And he's like, what are you doing? What's going on? Okay, that is Bick. Kina, you don't have to make death saves, but you also are incapacitated. So what is Kina dreaming about in her unconsciousness?
So in Kina's last blurry moments of consciousness while she's on the ground, her eyes kind of roll back, and with her last bit of strength, she mutters, "My lady, I have failed you." And you see her eyes roll back, and all of a sudden, it's just white nothingness. And out from that white nothingness, she sees her goddess, Ikatra.
Yes.
And she looks down towards me, puts her paw over my head, and says,
"Yes,
my child, it is not your time." And then whoosh, cut back to Kina on the floor.
That's awesome. Take a point of inspiration. That was a beautiful, beautiful moment. And then we move to Skunt.
Oh yeah, it's Skunt's time. Okay, it's Skunt time, y'all. I still have the broom, and I think maybe even though I'm levitating, can I kind of use that almost as like an outboard motor to tow me towards the?
Yes, of course.
The
I love that. Yeah.
Great. So I think it's like the point of the broom is like almost on the ceiling, like as I'm like whoa, getting pulled along behind it, and just to get me there, and shunk. I think I can make it there.
You can go 40. If you can go 40, you can get there.
Yeah, I don't even want to go that far. I just want to get in the doorway.
Yeah.
Honk. And once I'm there, I'm going to blast these fools.
Blast them. Get over there. I'm gonna put you over there. Boom. There you are. Oops, sorry.
Right, the one whose back is turned to me, trying to take a swing at fish. Here it comes.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh yeah, I like it. 25.
25's a hit.
Yes sir.
Nice.
And here comes the fire damage. 9. All right.
9. That does not take him out, but it doesn't. But he's on his what I call last legs. If something has less than 5 HP left, I say last legs. So that lets you guys know that he's like taking a knee, is like trying to put himself out. He's like his like skin is boiling. He's pulling his mask off because his hobgoblin skin is boiling under his mask. Nice turn, Skunt. And now, fish in the water. Your turn.
Fish is going to attack the goblin right in front of him.
Yeah. So
Or should I attack the one that's weak? Maybe I attack the one that's weak.
Maybe you. So this is the one that's weak, and this one hasn't taken damage.
All right, I'm going to attack the weak one.
Okay. So great. Give me the attack.
A natural 20.
Okay, so here's what's great. Here's what's great about a monk class too. Go ahead and do your. So, what would be the max damage for the attack you just did with your bow staff? I think
My bow staff. It would be 12 points.
12 points. Dead.
Ooh, baby.
But I think you have attacks left, right?
I do. I have. I'm going to go ahead and take my flurry of blows.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attack.
Gotta flurry those blows.
14.
14 to hit is not a hit.
Okay, well, I've got actually 2 more attacks. So here I go.
Okay.
I always think of McFlurry of blows.
Nope. One last
Delicious.
shot. Ooh, and I got a 26.
That's a hit.
That one, and that is for, yeah, that's six points of damage, and now I get to disengage.
I'm muted right now, and I just turn over and see you eating beans from a can like an old rambling hobo. Was I not muted?
You unmuted yourself.
You unmuted yourself.
Say that.
Is someone in the room with you eating beans from a can like an old hobo, Ross?
Now it's canon that there is someone in the inn who is eating beans.
The dwarf is eating.
Yeah.
The dwarf hasn't even realized he's been thieved.
Skunts in the doorway, and canonically looked over and saw someone in the hostel. Definitely not my friend in the who is eating beans like an old rambling hobo straight from the can.
It fits in so well to our world. I mean, it makes so much sense.
I get 50 movement, so I'm actually going to just I'm going to go straight through this room below me, and I'm going to go out this window and chill right here out on my broom.
I love it. That's what you have done.
Oh my God.
Guys, there's only one hobgoblin left, and he doesn't have a lot of HP, but these guys can now get in the door. And I think the encounter is pretty much over. Are you guys escaping, or are you going to continue to fight these guys?
I mean, I'm hoping somebody helps me out of there.
Yeah, I was going to go give Kina the potion and
Great. Okay,
Can we kick this one who has very little HP down the stairs on his buddies?
Yeah.
Yeah, just bowling pin the other ones.
So who's kicking this guy?
Can we tandem? Oh, okay. Ross, okay.
Yeah,
Can I go in and can I get on my hands and knees behind the guy and can Skunt come in and just tabletop him down the stairs?
Yeah, let's give him the old rope-a-dope. Yeah.
Okay, guys, give me dexterity rolls, both of you.
And bear in
But
mind,
that idea
Skunt's
is so
doing this from the
cool,
ceiling.
I want you to make it with advantage.
Okay,
Okay. Ooh, nice. That's gonna be...
How's a 21 sound?
It sounds like, how'd you do, Beck?
20. Dirty 20.
You drop this guy onto his friends, killing him and further slowing them down. Who's grabbing Kina?
Arm in arm, I think, might work as I pour the healing potion into Kina.
Oh, great. And do you go out this back window that fish went out of, or what do you do?
I think that would be the best route, yes.
Sounds
Okay,
about
I'm going
right.
to put everybody, I'm just going to go ahead and put everybody, I think that works. I think that you have the movement. I think it takes the hobgoblins enough time, like, to kind of get their friend off of them, that everybody gets out onto this roof. You have your brooms or your wings, and what do you do?
We
Just like with my one arm around Bick, like still very much out of it. I'm like, are you my goddess?
we should absolutely get out of here. I think maybe we should fly toward the temple.
Yes. So where are you flying to? The temple, or you also learn some things about the pleasure dome? But it's up to you. The temple is fine. Would you like to go to the temple?
But we have all the stuff we need to get into the pleasure dome, and there was that big party thing.
Yeah.
And because I didn't actually mention it to them, I say like, she's there. The traitor's gonna be there tonight. I heard them. I heard the furbolg. Did you hear the furbolg?
Oh, she really hit her head hard.
What furball?
You're talking about the pleasure dome. Strike is there.
Kana's
Striker.
there. Kana's there tonight.
Oh,
So, is this our shot?
this
We
might
could
be our
probably-
only shot.
Yeah, if there's a party going on and everyone's invited, it might be the best time for us to get in there.
And also, if we get there, we could always sneak away while everybody's at the party.
Yeah.
Guys, listen. This plan is insane. They know what we look like. They just saw us. They're after us. They'll be waiting for us. It's madness. I love it.
Very good, everybody. So then I will allow you to fly your brooms. First of all, you may take a short rest as you fly over to the pleasure dome. So go ahead and heal yourself with some hit dice. Regain whatever powers, abilities, and magic that you can regain during an encounter, a short rest encounter. And now what I would love to do is just give you a glimpse before we begin of the environs of the pleasure dome. You land outside where there are hobgoblin guards, and the hobgoblin guards, they want to know, like, if you have your jade circlets.
We do.
We do.
But only 3 of you do, right?
But there's only 3 of us.
There's
of
4
us.
of you.
There's 4 of us.
Oh, there's 4 of us. Oh,
I turn toward Skunt and I'm just like, with your magic, do you know how to just make one of those?
I minor illusion a jade circlet onto my head.
Oh, really? Oh, I love that. Okay, great. And when you do that, Skunt, I guess they haven't really been, like, kind of communicating with these hobgoblins. Well, let me see something. So these hobgoblins are all standing outside. They're carrying, like, flails, and they have them kind of hanging over their shoulders. You can tell that they're sad that they don't get to go in and party. You know, like, it's kind of like bumming them out a little bit. And then you minor illusion a jade circlet around your eyes, and over your head. And they look you guys over, and one of them goes, "Hi, Skunt." And soon they just nod you all in. And so now I'm going to show you the Pleasure Dome as you walk in, everybody. Here we go. Wait, let me move the player tab over to the Pleasure Dome. And if you look at roll 20, your characters enter into a
Those gambling tables?
They are. They're gambling.
Bar?
And there's a bar, yes, and there's some entertainment on stage over here. You can see, and everybody is having a big party. But the thing that we all wonder, what is happening beyond this staircase right ahead of you? Because whatever's happening, there are cheers going up that make the whole building shake. Something is happening just beyond here, and we will see what's happening, and we will get our first glimpse of Mother Kana, maybe, next time on Wicked Empire.
Yes.
We lived!
Wicked Empire, the only Dungeons and Dragons campaign where after you kill a bunch of hobgoblins in a hostel, you can go for a little R&R at the baccarat tables. Great
Always
gameplay,
bet on
guys.
Skunt.
Yeah, always bet on Skunt, everybody. Oh, it looks like in this Pleasure Dome we've set up some craps, some very modern craps. There's roulette. I can't wait for you to lose all your gold and your lives in the next episode. That's our show for now, guys. I want to thank Ross, Bryant, Noura, Ibrahim, Sydney, Amanuel, and Claire Grant. You guys were amazing. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jared.
Great stuff.
All right. I love these players. I love this game. Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, the world's greatest role-playing game. We will be back soon with more of the Wicked Empire and the evil drug operation of Mother Kana. Until next time, I hope you roll lots of 20s. See you later, fans.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye. What is
Kawaii.
kawaii, no?
Kawaii.